What I have here is my earnings year on year from starting photography to date, and I want to go through them. The reason I want to go through them is to explain to you how long it takes to actually make any money in photography, because you're going to be quite shocked at this graph. It is, well, now I've told you that, it's probably not, but it's not going to be what you expect. So let's look at this and let's explain to you what was going on through each year and just how bad some of it was. Now, I've got my little phone down here, so from peering down, I'm looking at the graph. You can see it on the screen right now though. Obviously 2025 is still in its ongoing bit, and those numbers are not accurate because there's probably some coming in, some coming out, we don't know. But up until that point, let's have a look at this. Now, what I think is important is I started in 2009. That was my first year I filed a tax return as a self-employed photographer. I didn't make much money, that's for sure. But who does in their first year, right? They say 3 years. Most businesses last 3 years before they go bust. So let's go forward, and we're in 2012. And yes, it's gone up, but not by a lot. By 2012, I was still doing a bit of everything. I was doing some weddings, I was doing some portraits, some music work, band work, little adverts for local companies. I wasn't doing much. By 2014, I was starting to make a bit of money, and it was enough to not have any other source of income. And I was skinned. I'm not going to lie to you, I was absolutely skinned. Some months I used to sit there going, if this client doesn't pay their invoice today, I can't pay rent, and my landlord's going to kick me out for either my studio or my home. Luckily, I was a single Pringle back then, so didn't really have the stress that I would do later on in life. 2016, things started to pick up. A lot of the money from 2016, I remember this, didn't get paid till 2017. So 2017 wasn't as good as it looked, and 2016 wasn't as bad. But that's when things started to take off. That was the point where I got my first agent, and we started to make headway. Keep in mind, this is 2017 we're moving into here. I started in 2009. But 2017 it started picking up. My friends, by this point, thought I was mad. I've got a master's in science. I've got a Prince 2 qualification for project management. I had a job in London. I was not making much money. 2018, however, was a good year. We started shooting global campaigns, started shooting TV. I worked with a few different agents. We did a lot of TV work and bits and pieces like that. It was all going well. I was excited. My career was on the up. Nearly 9 years after starting, I was where I thought I would be 3 years in. Now, looking back on this, I thought my work was the dog's bollocks 3 years in. I was the most arrogant, egotistical person in the world. I would say that today I rate my work as lower than I rated my work back then. I think my work is at a lower level now than I thought my work back then was at the time. It's in, like, the delusions of the Dunning-Kruger in full effect was me leading up until probably about 2016. But 2018 it started going well. And obviously, as you see on the chart, 2019, 2020, COVID happened. They're the lost years, you know, we took big hits in those years. But then it starts to increase again, up until last year, which was a really bad year. As you can see the dip in the graph. But on the grand scheme of things, despite being a photographer for this long period of time, it's only in this very last little chunk that it's been going well. It's only a few years of good money, like aggressive salary taking. You know, it's not forever. 2016, 2017, it was still very much in its infancy. And here's the point of this. The point of this is, if you're expecting something big to happen a few years in, you're delusional. This industry is so elite, I had no idea. I really didn't. And I don't want you to fall for the same naivety that I did. I thought in 3 years' time, of course, Nike will be booking me. Here I am, 16 years in, and Nike aren't phoning. And, you know, I work hard. Not as hard as I could do, because I do other things as well, but I do work hard. It took a long time. I've seen photographers get big campaigns within 2 years of starting. I've not seen any of them make big livings within 2 years of starting, because it takes a while for the snowball effect. But I'm hoping this gives you a bit of a reality check on your timeline. If you're going, I'm going to leave my job now, and in 2 years' time I should be breaking even, I've got 2 years of savings, probably ain't going to happen. Of course, I was a stupid young kid when I started out. You can probably look at 2015, 2016, to the point where I probably reached a level of maturity in business to actually stand a fighting chance. If I started today, having been in work all this time, I think I could probably half that initial starting period. But it takes a long time. It is not a quick fix. You've got to know people. You've got to know people, and knowing people doesn't happen instantly. Nobody's nepotistic enough in this industry to get all the way in. You've got to take the time. It takes time. You've got to put the hours in, the meetings, the drinks, God, the hangovers. You've got to commit that time. It doesn't just happen overnight. It's not a quick fix. And I think the mistakes a lot of people make is like back in 2016, which was a relatively good year, first good year, I did a really big shoot. I shot a global campaign. They bought perpetuity. I made a lot of money and I thought, that's it. I then didn't work for like 9 months, apart from doing local events at 250 quid a pop. I really had to do my time in this industry until I got anywhere near making good money. And I think it's so easy just to think, oh, it's like any other job, you can just jump in and run with it. It's not. It's hard, it takes time, and it takes skill and talent as well. And the skill and talent I thought I had when I thought I should be making good money, looking back at it now, I'll pop some of the work up so you can see it, it's laughable. That work did not cut it. The work you're seeing now, the reason I wasn't making good money was because this quality of work isn't enough to make money. It just isn't. The quality of work required each year goes up and up and up. Now this work, back in 1980, I'd have been a millionaire. But people get better. It's the same in sport. Athletes get faster. You've got to move with the times, and it's a constant evolution. So I hope that this is showing you, well, one of two things really. If you've been doing it for 3-4 years, hang in there, keep going. It does come good for most of us. And if you're just starting out, don't be delusional like I was and expecting it to work straight away. Luckily, I'm really stubborn. And I said I was going to be a photographer, so I damn sure made sure that I became a photographer. It was my life's work to become a photographer. I'd never worked in an artistic industry. I've always been in science or finance or something like that, tech. And I wanted to do this, so I made sure I did it, but it took time. It takes time. It was painful. I look back with rose-tinted glasses now on those early days, and the fun, the japes, the sleeping in cars before shoots because we couldn't afford hotel rooms, and that sort of thing. But at the time it was hellish. You can spin a good yarn now in hindsight, but back then, my God, was it hard work. It was stressful, it was chaos. I was a nightmare because I was exhausted and probably malnourished most of the time, but we got through it. Hopefully this is of use to somebody and it shows you that it's not just all like jumping out of helicopters and farting rainbows. And yeah, it just takes a lot of work and a lot of time.